Hey you guys, this is Lily J and I have something to say. But first, can you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe and turn that notification bell on? Because what else do you have to do? Okay, this story I'm going to be talking about is how I met my daughter's dad. My eyebrows are a mess. Anyways, so this story is about like how I met my daughter's dad and how my youngest daughter, how we're not like on the same page at all. Like I don't like him, he don't like me. So yeah. So yeah, we're gonna just get into the video. So like I want to say my daughter is 4 years old, so that had to been probably like in 2015 after I had my first daughter. When I had my first daughter, I used to stay in this place called, we're gonna give this place a name. What name can I name this place? Savageville. Okay, we're gonna name this place Savageville. So I lived in Savageville for probably about a year, I want to say. I lived there for 2 years. So I lived there for 2 years. And I used to see this dude like all the time. Like, and I used to be like, ooh, oh my God, he was so fine. Like, literally, I used to be like, oh my God, he is so cute. Like, and like, I used to just watch him from my balcony. Like, every day, like, I would just watch him, like, literally just stalk him like a CSI agent, like on a hunt, like a lion in his prey. Like, I literally used to just stalk this man. Like, literally, like, I don't understand why I didn't go to jail for stalking. Like, he didn't see me, but I seen him. Like, he would be walking through the parking lot in his little nice little skinny jeans on. I used to be like, ooh, who that? And I used to be like, ooh, who that? Like, come here, Zeddy. So one day, you know, me and my little evil skills, I decided to go on the hunt. So I had knocked on his door. And his girlfriend had opened up the door. His baby mom, actually. And so I was like, oh, can I use your phone? Girl, I got a whole phone upstairs. Just lying. So I was acting like I was calling somebody. I don't know who the fuck I was acting like I was calling, but they didn't answer the fuck anyway. So I was like, oh, okay, well. And I was just talking to her, like making conversation because it was told to me that we shared the same cousin, but I never seen her around at any family events. So, you know, whatever, girl. So I'm like, okay. She's like, oh, cousin this, oh, cousin that. And I'm like, so after that, I went up to my cousin's house. Now, I go to my cousin's house because he stayed like, I want to say like, I think he stayed on the 5th floor. Or whatever floor he stayed on, I went to his apartment or whatever. So I was asking him, I'm like, we're just gonna call him Dreads. So I was like, Dreads, I'm about to say these people's names. I'm like, because I didn't even give my baby dad no name. What is his name gonna be? Loser. No, I think I already named somebody Loser. Pathetic. I was like, dude, Pathetic's baby mom, is that your cousin or something like that? And he was like, no, it's not my cousin. He was like, you know how people be calling people your cousin, but that's not my cousin for real, for real. I was like, oh, okay. Because she was trying to call me her cousin, and I'm trying to get her baby dad, so I don't need any discrepancies. Okay, so enough about that. So I leave Dred's house or whatever. Like, we ended up cooking and stuff like that, like making food and stuff like that. And I ended up going home or whatever. And then the next day, I just kept watching him. I just kept watching him. So one day I was with my friends. They don't need no names because they're not even gonna really be in these videos. Well, one of them is, and we're gonna call her Backdoor. That's what we're gonna call her. So me and Backdoor, and I forgot who the other person was because they irrelevant. So we was outside or whatever, outside of my apartment or whatever, like in the hallway, and he had came, and my daughter's dad had came. I forgot what I named him. What did I name him? We're just gonna give him a new name because I don't remember what his name was. So the new name that we're gonna give my baby dad is Joke, because he's a joke. Okay, so that's his new name. So we had seen Joke, you know, walking, getting off the elevator, and I was like, ooh, he's so fine. So I'm like, ooh, he fine as fuck, like, and I said it out loud, like, so he like, thanks. So, okay, that was it. So me and Backdoor, we go downstairs and we go outside. So we outside or whatever. Outside in the parking lot. I think we was drinking and stuff like that. So we just outside in the parking lot, just kicking it with everybody else that's outside or whatever. And it was cool, you know, that day was cool or whatever. Whatever. So then like the next day, no, literally that same day. So later on that night, like I get like a message on Facebook or whatever. And I'm not understanding how he found me. Like the Joker found me. So Joker messaged me. It was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. How are you? What are you doing? And stuff like that. Like we would just message each other back and forth. And he was like, oh, I really didn't want to say anything because those girls that you were with, those are my mom's friends and stuff like that. And I didn't want them to go back and tell her, you know, whatever. So I'm like, okay, whatever. He was like, so what you doing or whatever? And I was like, nothing, you know, chilling. He was like, oh, I'll come over there later or whatever. So probably like 20 minutes, probably an hour go by, and I hear a knock at my motherfucking door. So I open up my door or whatever. I look out the people and I see that it was him over there. I was like, oh, okay. So, you know, we did it or whatever. Wish that never happened. So after we did it or whatever, you know, I gave him the time of his life, you know, because I wanted you to come back. You know, so, you know, did what I had to do, and the performance was very well done. You know, I should have been on Pornhub, you know, back then. No, I'm just playing. But so after that, you know, we were still talking and stuff like that, like, you know, getting to know each other a little bit or whatever. And then one day, you know, I'm just strolling, you know, going somewhere. And look who I see. Oh, I was going to work. So look, and then look who I see standing at the bus stop. Him and his baby mom. I just laughed. And I just got on the bus right along with them. I sat in the front, they sat all the way in the back. So I went to wherever the fuck I was going to work or whatever. And then, I didn't talk to him for like a while or whatever, like, and then he was like, yeah, when he finally did, when the Joker finally did reach out to me, he was like, yeah, I wanted to apologize about that, like, I do like you and stuff like that, but I just got a girlfriend and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, I really don't care, for real, like I don't. So then it was coming to time for like when I had moved out of there, so I moved into my mom's house or whatever. So it's just me and my oldest daughter, and I had moved in, and I was dating somebody else at the time. We're gonna call him Stalker, and you're gonna get like a lot of videos about him because he is a fucking stalker. Like, he stalks me to this day. Like, all right, so me and Stalker was talking at the time, and we were dating, and he's from Cleveland, and we were talking and we were dating and stuff like that, and we have been dating for like a long time, you know. Like, I knew him when we was in high school. We used to date when we was in high school too, so, you know, it was somebody who I knew, but I didn't know that he was this crazy. So me and him had broke up, or it was like around my birthday. My birthday is May 15th. So we had broke up because I found like a whole bunch of condoms underneath his bed, which was disgusting. So we had broke up or whatever, and me and the Joker, like, we had got like kind of back we're not like friends or whatever. And like, you know, like I'm just a sweet, nice person or whatever. So he had asked to come over one night or whatever. And I mean one morning or whatever. And I had made him breakfast and shit like that. Gave him a couple of dollars. Girl, barely knew the boy. For real, for real. Still. And then we did it too. And then we did it again. And then I used to like have him like come to like my friend's house or whatever. Cause mind you, I was staying with my mom. So it's not like it was my own place. So I really wasn't supposed to have him at my mom's house. But my mom ended up finding out anyway. But so I had ended up finding out I was pregnant. And the dude who I was talking to, because we had got back together, the dude who I was talking to, he was like, oh, you need to go get an abortion because I don't want any kids right now, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, it's not even your baby anyway, so you can't tell me. But I should have just listened to him, let him pay for that fucking abortion, because the stuff that I go through now, if I would have just did that, like, even though I don't condone anything like that, but if I would have did that, I wouldn't have the problems that I have now. Like, he wouldn't exist in my life or anything like that. And that's what I really want. I don't want him to be in my life at this point, you know? So it's like, I kind of like blame myself for like being in the problems that I am with him. And I really don't understand, because I shouldn't have to feel that way. But hey, it is what it is. So, so we proceeded to like, you know, like talk on the low and stuff like that. Like, and then after a while, like me and Stalker, like we stopped talking. Like, I don't even talk to this man. I block him. He makes Snapchats and Facebooks and to stalk me. And I don't even know how the fuck he be finding me. Like, the shit be so fucking crazy, y'all. Like, I be really scared for my life. Like, okay, we're not going to keep talking about him though. So me and him, we had broke up or whatever. Mind you, this time it's like in the summertime. And, I was staying with my mom. My mom, she had got like an attitude with me and stuff like that. Like, my mom, we go through it all the time. Like, we're at it now. So it's like we never see eye to eye. She's a Taurus. I mean, I'm a Taurus and she's a Gemini, so we do not mix. So she had did like some kind of like ruthless shit, like kind of like kicked me out the house or whatever. So because I was never there, which that's a good thing. If somebody's never there at the house, you really don't have to see them and y'all don't really have to get into it, which whatever. But it was okay for my stepdad's son to be there for like 3 years and nobody kicked him out. Okay. So the math just don't be mathing around here. But whatever, that's a story for another day. So my mom ended up kicking me out, so I ended up going to my cousin's house or whatever. So my cousin stayed up the street, which she's not really my cousin for real, because I don't like her either. So I was there at her house for a while, and mind you, if I'm babysitting your kids, I don't see how the fuck I'm going to be able to get a job if I'm babysitting your children, correct? Okay. So I was always babysitting her kids like every day or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And one day, like, Joker had came over, and it was like in July. So at the time I was like 2 months pregnant, probably. Yeah. So I was drinking because I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to have another child. I wasn't ready to have another child. I was homeless. So we was talking, and he was like, you know, basically, like, he really did want to have a child with me, for real. But in the same time, he did want to have a kid, like, but he, like, I don't know if it's mine and blah, 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 and this and that, da, 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 da. So I was just like, He didn't believe that I was really pregnant and shit like that. Like, it was just a lot. Like, it was just a lot. Like, you did it to me, and I told you that I was having a kid, and you don't believe me? Okay, well, she looked just like your ugly ass. Anywho, so she was like, me and my cousin, we started like getting into it and stuff like that. So then, like, her boyfriend knew like way too much shit about me. Like, so I just left her house. Like, I don't have time to sit up here and argue with you. Like, he was like, yeah, since you want to argue with me, I'm going to tell her how you don't even like her. And that you don't even really want her staying at your house. Like, I can go on. And he was just saying shit, like, and he was like, yeah. And how about I tell her that you don't believe that she's really pregnant? Yeah, how about I tell her that? How about I tell well, how about I tell her that you said that she's really not pregnant for real, for real. Yeah. And I was like, how can I not be pregnant? She was like, because you was drinking. I was like, but you know that I don't want another kid. So how am I not pregnant? You seen the papers. So I just left her house or whatever, and I am just going to a shelter. So I go to a shelter or whatever. Mind you, me and Joker, we was cool at this point. Like, it was cool. We was friends and stuff like that still. And then we started dating, and I was in the shelter. We started, like, going together. But in the same time, I was still talking to Stalker. I don't even know why. I would be saying that I'm at work, and I would be going to Cleveland, and I would go see him. You can't believe that at a shelter, but I didn't care. I just didn't want to be there and sleeping there. So after a while, I ended up getting my apartment, and when I got my apartment, I moved Joker in. Now, when I had moved Joker in, it was cool for the most part, but I didn't have any furniture or nothing like that. Like I said crazy. Ooh, Stalker had gave me like he had gave me like some blow up beds and stuff like that. Like he had went to the store and then he had brought the stuff over to my house. He had brought one for my daughter and he had brought one for me, and he had brought me like a whole bunch of like supplies that I had, like little things that I had needed and stuff like that, which was cool, because that was cool. So my daughter's dad, he ended up like moving in like after a while, but I was still like sneaking to see Stalker. Like I don't fucking know what my problem was. Like why the fuck did I still was talking to him? I have no idea. So me and Stalker, we were still talking, and Joker, we was all, so it was like a triangle, a love affair, like a fucking, I don't fucking know what the fuck that was, but sorry you guys, I'm kind of tired. But so I'm just sitting there like, I have to stop talking to one of y'all. So I just cut Stalker off, and I continued to talk to the Joker, which I really don't understand why the fuck I was talking to him. I just really don't know. Like, so we're sitting there and he's staying with me, and like shit just started going downhill. Like he used to leave me in the house by myself the whole time. Like I didn't have no TV, no internet, no nothing like that. And it was just like, how do you leave somebody in the house that's pregnant with your child? Mind you, I was bigger at this time. Like I couldn't work. I couldn't do, stuff that I used to do or anything like that. And I worked up until I had her. So it's like, I really wasn't supposed to be working, but I still was. But he wasn't trying to help me out at all. And I was having to get on the bus, like in the dead of winter, me and my oldest daughter, I have to take her to daycare and now have to go to work. And I had did that for like a long time. And like after a while, like he started like putting his hands on me, fighting me. He even pushed me down the stairs. We had got into it one day. It was like really bad for real. Like I don't know who called the police. Somebody had called the police, and because he was like, he pushed me down the stairs, and then he had like got on top of me and just like I couldn't breathe or anything like that. Like, so it was just a lot. Like I feel like I don't know what the fuck he was mad about. I really don't care for real. It's old and it's over. So that had happened, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is the relationship for me. Like, I just not understanding. Like, how could you do that to somebody? So the Joker, he would be like out all the time, like with his friends. I think that he was smoking crack or something like that, like snorting something in his nose for real. Or maybe he was just didn't want to be a dad. I don't know. Like he would be sneaking, going to see his other baby mom, lying and stuff like that. Like, so one day, me and the Joker, we was downstairs in my living room, and I had a table, and we was just sitting there, chilling. He get a call from his baby mom. They FaceTiming or whatever. And they talking like really weird, like in front of me. Like, and he was like, would you have another kid? And she was like, yeah, you already know that answer. You already know I just want to have my one baby dad. So you already know that answer. And I'm just like, bitch, I'm sitting right here. Like, so me and him, I'm like, what? I'm like, what kind of weird ass shit you got fucking going on? I'm like, that's fucking disrespectful as fuck. I'm like, that's like my other baby dad calling and telling me that he just want to have me as his baby mom, and that, and you here. Like, what type of weird ass shit is that? Like, who does that? Like, girl and guys. I was like, is you fucking stupid? Like, what fucking barn did you just come out of? Like, what crack house did you come from? Like, where was you snorting coke 5 minutes ago? Because, like, why the fuck would you just indulge in conversation in that? Like, why didn't you just stop that before you even got? And why the fuck are you asking her questions? Bitch, shouldn't you be asking her about your daughter that you got back there? Like, shouldn't y'all be talking about that? Like, y'all getting sidetracked. You need to stay in your lane. Stay in your motherfucking lane, because this ain't the lane that you supposed to be in. You supposed to be back there in the projects where you at, not over here where I'm at my motherfucking house, trying to get my man back. Because you can have him at this point, since y'all want to have another kid together. Bye. Good day. Go ahead and have it your motherfucking way. Like, go ahead. Do it. Just go. Oh, but you sat there and was like, oh no. she just playing. No, bitch, she ain't just playing. The fuck, what the fuck you think I'm fucking stupid or something? Am I dumb? She just playing. Right. Okay. So he like, after that, I want to say it was like December. I ended up kicking him out. Like, I used to just kick him out like every other day. Like, get the fuck out. Because he used to just do like stupid ass shit. Like, just doing ignorant ass shit. Just being petty. Like, sometimes he wouldn't come home, or sometimes he wouldn't come home in the morning and he'd be like, oh, I'm fell asleep at my friend's house. Bitch, you fell asleep at your friend's house? What friend is this? And where do he live? Because what do you mean you fell asleep at your friend's house? So you just got off work and went straight to your friend's house? Is that your nigga or something? And that was my problem with him. Like, he was always with niggas. Like, is y'all gay? Is y'all having, what the fuck y'all got going on? Is y'all having parties? Like, what is y'all doing? Like, what is the fascination with a whole bunch of niggas and they just be around? Like, what the fuck do y'all be doing? Like, I really want to understand. I don't understand why it be a whole bunch of niggas and they just be gathered around like they having a motherfucking, I don't fucking know. Like they going on vacation or something, but they just sitting in the house. Sitting in the house doing nothing, smoking, talking dumb shit. Go do some fucking work. Go do something productive. Y'all just sitting around talking about people like bitches. Like, come on now. Gossiping about the next man. Delusional. But so he would be with his girlfriends, I guess. That's what he had to be in, with bitches and shit like that. And sometimes he would be gone for days. Sometimes, and then and then when I call him, he wouldn't answer sometimes. Like, and I was, bitch, I'm not gonna be sitting at home. Then he had started like, you know, like hanging out with my neighbor and stuff like that. Like, and I used to be like, who is this girl? Like, at first I'm like, who the fuck is this girl that you just keep going over to her house? Like, and I used to be on the phone with my friend. I'm like, I think he fuck with my neighbor or whatever. Like, I'm like, I really think that he talked to her. Like, I think that they go together because he be over there all the fucking time. So one day I had knocked on her door or whatever. And I'm like, is Joker here? And she was like, I think she had said yeah. And then she told me to come in or whatever. And then she was like, because I was pregnant, she was like, girl, I be telling him to bring you over here. And I was just looking at her like, in my head, I'm like, but I'm smiling like, And I'm like, I don't know this girl from Adam's House Cat, but whatever. And she was like, yeah, I don't know why he be leaving you over there. She was like, I been told him to bring you over here because he be over here eating. And he be over here telling me that y'all don't have no food in your house. So you over here getting your belly fat while I'm over here starving in the back. What type of relationship is this? Like, you going over to the neighbor's house getting fuller than a bitch, coming over here and falling asleep. While I'm over here growling and trying to figure out, my stomach growling, trying to figure out what the fuck me and my 2 kids about to eat. Like, some days I didn't have food and he didn't give a fuck. Like, I would literally have to spend my last or ask my mom to bring me some food because sometimes I would run out of food. Like, he not putting no food up in this motherfucker. So sometimes I would run out of food. I mean, hey, I'm human. We all run out of food. Shoot, the fuck? But now I keep my house full. And I don't have nobody staying with me. And ain't nobody gonna stay with me at all. Unless you my kid, that's it. So, he like, yeah, I didn't want you to, I didn't want you to know about her because me and her, we used to talk back in the day. I was like, okay, did y'all have sex or something? Like, was y'all going together or something like that? He was like, no, it wasn't nothing like that. Then what the fuck is you trying to say? Like, what the fuck are you really trying to say? What? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. The shit that you talking about is irrelevant to me. Why the fuck aren't you over here? Why the fuck aren't you helping me? Why the fuck aren't you doing what the fuck you need to be doing? No, you out scalabating the streets. Yeah, he did have a job, but none of his money was coming to me. He wasn't helping with none of my bills. He wasn't paying no rent. He wasn't fucking filling up my fucking refrigerator. The bitch was too busy fucking stealing from the fucking store and shit like that. Like, the man said, he was like, your husband not allowed down here. I was like, my husband? I don't have no husband. The fuck? Now you getting us fucking stopped from going to the fucking store. Bitch, I ain't no motherfucking thief. The man over here trying to check my pockets before I fucking leave. Check my motherfucking diaper bag to see what the fuck I got up in here. Watching me closely like I be fucking stealing. Hell no. No. Don't do that. No. So, after that, like, me and him, like, we started getting into it, like, real bad. Like, we used to just get into it. Like, and this time it was, like, almost due for me to have my daughter. So, about that time, like, I didn't have no baby shower. I didn't have nothing like that. She barely had clothes. Just to be honest, he didn't help with shit. I was stuck doing everything by myself. My checks back then was only like $300-400, so I couldn't do everything, you know. So I'm like, I go in, have my baby. This motherfucker changes her whole name. Her name was supposed to be Raylene, after my niece and my little cousin. And that's not her name. So while we were in the hospital, the bitch asked me for $100 or $40. Can I get some money while I gotta go somewhere? Don't you got a job? The fuck? I'm in here just to push out a baby. You ask me for $40? Give him the $40. Whatever. Like, I had bought food and they was eating the shit right in front of me. Nobody saved me. No food, no nothing for after I didn't push this baby out. Like, just savage. Just savory. Like, I had to eat a fucking cold cut and after like, what? Bitch, I want some pizza. The fuck? I want a wing or two. I want to be gnawing on a motherfucking bone. The fuck? Y'all didn't draw motherfucking teeth. I'm trying to do that. The fuck? Got this dry ass piece of fucking bread. What the fuck is this? So, after that, like, me and the neighbor, we really got close. Like, actually, we're really good friends to this day. That is my girl. But before she was my girl, it was just suspect to me, you know, because he was just always at her house and stuff like that. Like, so I came home from the hospital and stuff like that. Like, and he still wasn't helping me. So my neighbor, she had got my daughter a whole bunch of stuff. Cause I wasn't working. We had went to the store and I had started getting a little bit of money, but I wasn't like working, like, you know, having a job and stuff like that. Like, so I used to do like side things or whatever. I like to do hair and shit like that too. So, I used to get money from that. So she had to go to the store and I had got like the baby some pajamas and she had got her some pajamas too and like some cute little outfits or whatever. Like, and I gradually just started getting her a whole bunch of stuff. Like, 'cause she was just so tiny. She was like really, really tiny. So she had to wear like premature clothes. So, you know, having to deal with stuff like that. I was just at my wit's end. with a lot of things. And around this time she probably was like a month No, maybe she probably was about like 2 weeks, I think, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Me and him, we had got into a real bad fight. It was like really bad. Like he had kicked me in my face and with his feet, and I went over to my neighbor's house and I had to call my mom and stuff like that. Like I was fighting him back and stuff like that, but you can't come back when somebody then is kicking you in your face and shit like that with their feet. Like you're very undefeated. There's nothing that I'm gonna, there's nothing that I can do. I couldn't call for help because he had broke my phone. He had smashed it. Because he didn't want me to call for help. And he didn't even help me. I had blood clots coming out my nose and all that stuff. Like he could have killed me. Like, and he didn't care. Like he just ran off. Like, so the present day, well, after that, I feel like he got his karma. He had went to jail for 18, I think he did 18 months or 2 years or something like that. Cause he came on when she turned 3. My daughter turned 3. So he had been gone since she was a newborn. And then he had got out when she was 3 years old. Like, so I'm really like having like a lot of problems with him, like to this day. My recent problems have been, he left my daughter on the porch, by herself and drove off because he thinks that, his life is more important than mine. He feel like because he has to go to work, the world revolves around him, and it really doesn't. I feel like I'm the only person that has to be an adult in this situation. Like I have to have my daughter 24/7, both of them. And it doesn't matter if I have to take my kids to work with me, because I do. I have before, and that's how I keep losing half of my jobs that I have, because I have to take my kids with me to work, and it's like really sad that you don't care and that I'm the only person that's supposed to be an adult. And the only reason why I told this story is because I feel like it's a lot of people that go through a lot of things and they're scared, or they just won't help so bad that they have to keep reaching out and begging for help. And you don't have to do that. You do not have to beg, and he gave you the child and you don't have to be around. Like, it's a lot more stories, and I'm going to have a part 2. But I feel like as a mother, it's our job to protect our kids from people who don't have time for them. And I don't have time to be chasing you around. I'm not that. I'm not going to chase you around. I'm not going to do all that extra shit. The man is not even on child support. He don't help me with nothing. He don't give me no money. And that is what it is. Like, the only thing that I ask for you to do is be in your child's life, and you can't even do that. So since you don't want to be a dad, I'm just going to not have you around her. And it's really sad, because it's like I really be trying to force it on him, and you can't force nothing on nobody. He don't even be a dad to his oldest child. So who am I? Then he always want to get into it with me, and then we get into it, and then he be like, you're just crazy. No, I'm not crazy. You need to think logically. You need to think about being a dad. You need to think about what's in the best interest of her. If you have to go to work and she's with you, you don't bring her back to me, because I have to go to work too. You need to figure it out. You need to call one of your family members. Call them homies that you be fucking with. Don't they got kids? You better ask their baby mamas. You better fucking figure it the fuck out like I do. Because if my mom can't watch my kids, which she barely do, I have to send my kids, I have to ask one of my friends. Like, I shouldn't have to ask my friends. I should be able to take them to your mama's house, not my mom's house, your mom's house, your cousin's house, somebody I should be able to take them to. But I don't have no help. I don't have that. So what I do is I just deal with it by myself, and I just take my kids with me to work. And I want to create a business to where you can work and you will be able to drop your kids off at a facility that we own as well. And you'll have childcare, because I know how it feels not to have childcare. Having childcare is, you got to have childcare. I mean, sometimes you just can't pay for childcare. Sometimes childcare is too expensive, or you make too much and you have to pay out of pocket. In my case, I have to pay out of pocket for childcare, and I have 2 kids, so I will have to put both of them in there. And don't want to pay $600 a week for both of them. I can't. I have other bills that I have to pay. So that's not a priority right now. So that was the end of this video. There will be a part 2. I am very sorry about me not being on here and telling any stories, but I've been going through a lot. It's been a lot, and I will talk to you guys about it one day. I would just, just talk to you. I want to tell a story. I'll just talk to you and just tell you guys, because I don't want to tell stories. I want to just talk to you guys like I'm talking to one of my girlfriends. I just want to vent for real, for real. I don't want to have like a story to tell, because I feel like I can't follow my stories. And I don't think that y'all can follow my stories either. So I'm really trying to work on a different approach for these things, for these videos that I have been doing. That's why it's kind of taking me so long to get on here. I'm trying to find my way and give you guys a way to understand me. So I don't want to lose my subscribers, and I don't want to lose my viewers, because I understand that you guys are watching me, and I do want to help you guys in any way that I can with my videos. But that's all I have to say. And this is Liddy J, and I have nothing else to say. So you guys have a good day. Bye.